Hello, everyone. It's about 9 o'clock again. It seems to be getting later every night. I won't keep you up if you're ready to go to bed. I got up early this morning myself, so I was thinking about how it can be so easy to be happy every day if you don't watch the news and you just go about your day as you normally would, let's say. And I was thinking that I was driving down the highway thinking that this morning. I'm not sure why I thought that, but I did. And I thought, you know what? I think if you just look out around you every day and, you know, enjoy the weather, enjoy the nature, enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the people you're meeting or going to meet on a daily basis. Maybe you're not doing that. I don't know. I am still. um, I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but, I am still living my life and doing things. So I was thinking about that when I was driving, thinking, it's just a beautiful day and no reason to not be happy, right? Is there, well, there are reasons to not be happy, of course. As we all know, there can be tragedies in life and difficult situations that come about. And I've had my share of them, as you know, and or some of you know. And yet, I can be happy. Like, I can choose that. I can choose happiness. It's some days easier than others. As a matter of fact, I actually was thinking about my daughter at one point today, the one who passed, and just the kinds of funny things that she would say and do, and it's it's definitely a difficult thing at times when that memory comes or that thought comes. Hey, Wesley, let's just say hello. I'll do you a little wave there, girl. And yet, I choose to be happy. I choose to spend the time with people who I can safely hang out, visit, whatever. Most of it's family, obviously. Um, and I can be happy that I'm alive, that I get to choose what I need to do every day and want to do every day. And I always say that happiness is actually a choice. I know that sometimes people feel like, oh, things have to be just right in order for them to be happy. But really, even when things are difficult, you can be still happy. You can be happy about the things that are good. So I think one of the things that has helped me in the past, and I haven't done it lately, but I do, have one, is a gratitude list. It's in one of my books. So I started just making a list once about all the things I'm truly grateful for. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful now for grandkids. I'm grateful for family. Sometimes they're a pain, like everybody has issues. Like there's nobody that doesn't have some kind of issue if you are in relation with others. There's always going to be issues. But that doesn't mean you have to be miserable about it. Like there is a choice there to, set boundaries, be clear about what you expect from somebody, and then, move forward. And if they don't honor the boundaries, of course, then you have other choices that you can make. But that doesn't mean you have to write them off or, tell them to go, themselves. It's okay to still be friends with someone, even if you're not, agreeing with everything that they want to do or that they do, whether it's to you or someone else. And that's important, I think one of the things that I've noticed over the last, I don't know, probably in the last 10 years, but more so in the last maybe 5 or 6, is that, people feel so free to be nasty to other people. And it's like, why? Like, why would you do that? That negative energy just comes back to hit you. It's like like boomeranging, it's just so unnecessary. And it's not helping you in the long run. If you're mad about something, do something about it. If you're, work through it. Like, there's ways to work through anger, as I talked about yesterday. Anger is one letter away from danger, right? So, you just have to always be in check with yourself. And if you're angry about something, do the anger release stuff. That one was posted on my Facebook page some time ago. But there's a whole process for doing that. If you're angry about a lot of stuff and it takes you the whole 3 days, that's okay. It's 3 days well spent, in my opinion. I've done it twice now, in the last probably 5 years. And sometimes you need to get rid of all that stuff. And there's ways to do that. And that's part of, being a healthy, happy human being. And I don't want to carry around that stuff. Being angry hurts me more than it hurts whoever I'm angry at. So I need to be aware of that and not carry that negative energy or that negative stuff around. So for me, that's super important. And so I think that happiness is, like I said, very much a choice. It can be an hourly choice, a daily choice. It can be a minute by minute choice sometimes if something's a difficult situation. And I think, you have that ability. All human beings have the ability to be happy. And if you've learned other things, that made you miserable or made you not happy, that's something you learned. You can unlearn it. You can choose to change that. I always say thoughts are things, and you can change your thoughts. So if something makes you miserable or something that you don't want to be around, you can make different choices and you can choose something that you want that's better for your life. And unfortunately, sometimes you do have to release people back to whatever it is they're doing if they're sucking the life out of you and you're letting them. And you need to just move on and maybe take a break from the relationship for a while. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Self-care is the most important thing in a person's life. I know it is for me. I didn't take good care of myself when I was younger. I ran myself ragged. I did too much. I did too much not only for myself, but for others. And then, that caused some resentments and I was angry at them. And then I realized, like, hey, I chose to do that. I got to change that if I'm not going to, get that kind of an attitude about it later on. Your yes has to be a real yes. Otherwise, it's worthless, Say no when you need to. No is a complete sentence. I don't have to give a paragraph explanation about why no is the answer for some things if I'm asked something. And that's a really important way to set your boundaries and be clear. So then I can be happy. If I'm doing something because I'm doing it out of, obligation, or I feel like I have to for some other reason, that's not going to sit well with me going forward. And then when I think of that person, I'm going to think about that situation, and that's not going to be a happy thought or a good thought. So I don't want to do that. So make sure your no is your no and your yes is your yes. And there's nothing wrong with having a yes and a no answer for whatever, questions come to you. So I don't do that anymore where I'm, extending myself beyond what's reasonable. So I'm taking good care of myself, making sure that, my yes is a real yes. And sometimes I'll say to somebody, well, let me get back to you because I'm not sure if I can do that. Because I don't. I actually don't know if I can do that. But I don't just automatically say yes because I've been asked. And that's a good thing to have as a tool. So I'll get back to you. So that's a perfectly acceptable answer. And sometimes I need to say that and then decide whether or not I'm interested in actually doing that thing, whether it's a yes and then I do it, or without a resentment, without, feeling like crappy about it or mad at them because I did it or whatever. I just say yes because I wanted to and I did it, and that was that. And but if I say no, it's also important to not carry any guilt for that no, because that's something that can happen too. A lot of times when people say no, they feel really guilty. and like they felt like I should have done this. Well, don't should all over yourself. That's what I always say. And it's important that you say no and not feel guilty. If your no is legitimately because you don't or can't do something, there's nothing wrong with that. And guess what? You know what? That person will find somebody else who will say yes. You're not the be all and end all to their yes or no either. So you don't have to have that heaping responsibility of that in your life. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about in terms of happiness today. And, it is a choice always. And as I look at, making different choices on any given day, there's that old saying too, would you rather be right or happy? For the most part, I'd rather be happy. There was a time when I'd rather been right. So I had to learn to change that. I had to learn to think differently. I had to learn to reevaluate. Why would I choose to be right and be miserable when I could choose to be happy instead? And who's right anyway? Like I always say, there's 3 truths: yours, mine, and the truth. So it's just an opinion a lot of the time, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that's okay. And they are where they are with that opinion. And you know what? I've changed my opinion over the years. I'm sure you have too on different things. And it's okay to change your opinion when you get new information. Nothing's black and white. It doesn't have to be just one way always. I think that's one of the things that people get caught up in. Well, my parents did it this way, so I have to do it this way. No, you can do something different. And you can do your own way. You can choose your way about what you need to do. Hey, Therese. Hey, Rich. So I think that's important too, recognizing that, not everything has to be done a certain way. There's lots of ways to do things in life. And people have lots of choices about the things that they want to do and the way they want to do them. So allow them that. What if the way they do it is actually better? Maybe not just for them. Maybe it's even better for you. If you have an open mind, you can take a look at that and go, you know what? That actually does work better. So it's nice to have an open mind, and that allows you the ability to make those choices and change your mind and be happy about a decision that you make instead of being quote unquote right about that decision. So that's kind of my thoughts for today about happiness. Like I said, I started this morning thinking about it and realizing that I had a good day. I got a lot of things that I wanted to get done, so that was good. I never know what each day is going to bring me, but today was a good day. So I totally enjoyed it. I didn't realize how hot it was already. Actually, I should say, not just hot, it's a little bit humid here in Connecticut today. It was. Not so bad right now. So, excuse me. But I got up early, so I'm going to go to bed in a little bit. And I just wanted to get on before the day was over again. And hopefully I'll get on a little earlier tomorrow. But if I catch you then, I catch you then. And you know what? I know the sun's always shining. It's not here right now, but it's always shining. Let's see, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock in California. It's probably still shining over there. So I always try to keep that in mind, that the sun is always shining. And infinite intelligence in the universe always got your back, just like the sun does. So, signing off for now. Love you guys, and I hope you have a great evening. I hope you're happy. And you know what? You can always start your day over at any time. So if you're not happy yet today, you can do that right now. Choose to be happy. There's lots of ways of doing that, right? Maybe you want to go watch some comedy or something on TV, or find a good book. Make you happy. So, signing off for now, and catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye.